Welcome to Dark 10. Today, we're going to go over 10 most creepy creepypasta. Make sure to watch until number 1, because it's one of the most amazing stories I've ever seen. Creepypastas, scary tales or images that propagate around message boards, becoming internet lore that is discussed both online and offline, have given the age-old practice of sharing ghost stories around a campfire a digital update. People from all over the world post their bizarre and scary creepypastas in the hopes that they will become classics, often quoted or referenced by horror fans and terrified internet users. Even if they are widely circulated, not all creepypastas are especially scary or nice, just like ghost tales from the past. Reading a long story with an intriguing title or picture is no guarantee of a terrifying payoff, and authors always forget that making someone reach an untimely and unfortunate end does not make for an entertaining story. When you come across a true gem of a creepypasta, it makes all the digging and scavenging worthwhile, at least before bedtime. So grab a pal, switch off the lights, and prepare to be terrified before scrolling any further. Here are 10 of the scariest creepypastas on the internet. Number 10. Enora Petrova. This story serves as a reminder that, no matter how tempting it might be, it's best not to Google yourself. Enora Petrova was one of America's most talented figure skaters before she came across a sentient Wikipedia article about herself. Her life spirals out of control in the most unpredictable ways after she tries to change her fate selfishly by editing the website, until she is a friendless orphan, which isn't even the worst part. Although the Wikipedia page does not exist, it is a terrifying story about tampering with the internet's unknown powers. If you do decide to read the post, be sure to click on the picture at the bottom of the email for an added layer of creepiness. Number 9. Smile Dog. Smile Dog is the tale on this list that best encapsulates the message, "Be careful what you wish for." Smile.jpg, a picture posted on an old bulletin board system in 1992, is the subject of the creepypasta. But for one Mary E., who the narrator goes to interview, those who saw the picture either vanished or died. He finally realizes that some things, even simple images, are best left unsolved than confronted with the terrifying reality. In case you're curious, the story includes a picture, but you may not want to see it after reading the whole thing. However, you do not have a choice in the end. Number 8. Persuaded. Zombies have a place in creepypastas, particularly now that they've taken over much of popular culture. However, in order to keep readers on their toes, these zombies don't need frenzied biting to multiply, elevating this story above and above other zombie-inspired creepypastas. The nameless protagonist is holed up in his apartment, waiting for the shouting, vicious horde to burst through his door and rip him apart limb by limb. If only that had occurred instead of the two-day nightmare that occurs in fact. Number 7. Ben Drowned. Hacked video games are often used in creepypastas, but none is more well-known than Ben Drowned, which tells the story of Matt, a college-aged boy who buys a hacked cartridge of The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask at a garage sale. As the boy plays, he records mysterious events in the game and in real life, building up to a full-fledged haunting. One of the few creepypastas that incorporates various forms of media into the tale is this one. There's the story's text, both a formal post version that went up in real time on 4chan's X forums and a diary included on the final post, as well as videos of the unsettling gameplay on Alex Hall's YouTube page, originally Jaduzable. A distorted soundtrack, frightening bugs, and a sinister statue that is supposed to be Ben following the player around are all featured in the footage. Although the story is simply made up, the amount of dedication put into making it makes it worthwhile to read. Number 6. Jeff the Killer. Consider yourself fortunate if you've never seen the notorious picture of Jeff the Killer. The central plot revolves around Jeff, a serial killer who hides in the closet and whispers, "Go to sleep," to his victim before slaughtering the entire family. His appearance is even more shocking than his behavior. His face is smooth and stark white, with a wide smile and tiny lidless eyes. With his sinister stare plastered around forums, he is one of the most instantly identifiable creepypastas. He promptly murdered his family and vanished into the darkness, only to reap reappearances in your dreams. Number 5. The Russian Sleep Experiment. The title of this story brings with it a sense of fear and horror, making it a staple of best creepypasta lists everywhere. 5 political prisoners are exposed to an experiment in which they must stay awake for 30 days in a tank filled with an experimental gas shortly after World War II. The research subjects begin to lose their minds, among other gruesome signs, as in most science gone wrong tales. When the experimenters attempt to rescue their subjects, the nightmare does not end. Just be aware that if you are squeamish or hate gore, this story will not be for you, as the plot goes into graphic detail about the physical state of the patients. There are no videos, which is a good thing because this would be nightmare fire. Number 4. Anasi's Goatman Story. This creepypasta, based on a Native American legend, was discovered on 4chan's paranormal board, X, where some of the best creepypastas can be found. The plot revolves around a teen who travels to Alabama to visit his extended family. While camping in the woods with his cousins and friends, they see a curious figure, the Goatman, jerking and spouting gibberish as it follows them. The Goatman slowly infiltrates the party, terrorizing the teens into a frenzied state of hysteria, and they spend the rest of the night in fear. This blend of old lore and new story isn't uncommon in creepypastas, but it's the quality of the writing that elevates this story above the rest. There are many versions of this story, but they all follow a common pattern in which a group is stalked by the titular beast, with varying results. Number 3. Robert the Doll. His legends differ, particularly after he became so well-known on the internet. A servant working in artist Robert Eugene Otto's family home gave him the doll in the late 1800s or early 1900s. After that, the doll, which he named after himself, took on a life of its own and terrorized the family. Otto is known to have kept his doll until he was an adult, and it later drove his late wife insane. When another family discovered the doll, the girl who received it was afraid of it and refused to have it in her home. The doll is currently housed in Key West, Florida's Fort East Martello Museum. Visitors must respectfully ask Robert if they can photograph him. Number 2. Candle Cove. Everyone remembers a favorite TV show from their childhood. Some adults rediscovered their beloved 1970s film, Candle Cove, on a television forum in this creepypasta. Just like those who nostalgically remember the adventures of Dora the Explorer, Mr. Rogers, and Sesame Street. The story's forum style brings a creepy realism to the story while also making it simple to replicate and post on other forums. If you're interested in learning more about this story, check out the first season of the sci-fi original series Channel Zero, which is based on this creepypasta. Number 1. The Slender Man. With his finely pressed suit and unnaturally long arms, this thin, faceless ghoul haunted the internet forums long before he had his own movie and video game series. The Slender Man's tale is a pseudo-historical glimpse at this monster's history with mankind, which is connected to a number of other creepypastas. The Slender Man usually preys on children and others who become fascinated with his life, but no one knows what happens to the bodies because no one has ever survived an encounter with him. The Tall Man and the Marble Hornets videos are 2 suggested stories featuring the Slender Man. In the real world, this creepypasta character played a pivotal role in an incident and eventual court case involving 3 12-year-old girls in 2014. During a game of hide-and-seek, Wisconsin teenagers Anissa Weier and Morgan Geyser tricked their mate, Peyton Leutner, into the woods. The duo allegedly stabbed Leutner 19 times and left her at the scene in an effort to satisfy Slender Guy. Weier and Geyser were arrested and tried for attempted second-degree murder shortly after the assault. Weier was sentenced to 25 years in a mental institution in 2017, while her accomplice Geyser received a 40-year term in 2018. Subscribe Dark 10 and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos of creepy, interesting, or scary facts and much more. Check out this playlist of my Dark 10 videos of crime and killers and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.